Hare Krishna World Racer, Sabina and Roger here. We are back with the last 3 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita study and your comments. We just got a second cup of coffee.
Oh yeah, we're getting buzzed.
I'm looking forward to celebrating the last 3 chapters with you and your comment. Sincere analysis by A.J.
I am born Hindu, but till I started hearing your reaction of the Holy Gita, I realized I know nothing.
No.
The ultimate truth is in the Sri Bhagavad Gita.
Oh, how very beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And we're very, happy that we could help. And we want to re-inspire, the younger generation and all of Indians, because they're so blessed. So blessed and so fortunate, and I guess with the influence of outside forces, they've kind of lost maybe that willingness to accept the fact that their scriptures are so true, and then for us coming across them, and I have no doubt in my mind that this is the truth. So, we must re-embrace the teachings.
Yeah. Bruce Getton.
Thank you for a fine presentation of the Song of God. To root out the desire for sense gratification from our materialistic minds is not easy, and certainly a daunting task. Do you want Viagra or Vairagya? The modern world wants to exploit the senses until the point of death. Modern psychiatry will laugh at the notion that the purpose of sadhana is to destroy sex desire from the being. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, Krishna was touching on celibacy, wasn't he?
Yeah.
On that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, totally. So do you want, Viagra? I'm assuming that
what is
Vairagya.
Sanskrit term used in Hindu as well as Jain philosophy. That reference dispassion. Oh, detachment.
Detachment, renunciation.
I love it.
Totally.
I love it.
Yeah, I'll take that one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, so that's true. So the modern world wants to exploit the senses, and absolutely, you see that everywhere. We're bombarded by, advertisements and entertainment, and the whole. Yeah. What was that video that did the study? The Social Network or something, or.
Oh yeah. Well.
But anyways, it gets you hooked, right? You're on the phone, and then there's algorithms in place to keep you hooked. And entertained, and it's all just sense enjoyment.
Yeah. We want to go beyond that, because that is where the true pleasure is. Pleasure beyond anything you ever experienced through the senses.
Yeah, beyond the senses, arising from, the source of existence itself. So
I wanted to go up, but then I read very well said. Hope Roger and Sabina, read this. Okay, well, let's read it then. D.
Charity is always performed for the deserving. Dan Patra, the one who deserves. Like, for example, you saw a poor man in need of money and give him money. And with that money, the poor man drinks alcohol and go beat his wife back home. That charity is not good. Also, charity to a rich man who doesn't need it is not good. Charity should be done to right person who is really in need. When it comes to the right time of charity, if you donate to a person after he died in hospital, you got late in donation. So donating when needed is important instead of when time has passed. And the place of donations should be safe and good too, otherwise your contributions can be looted or misused by others. Like some website collect donations, you donate and feel happy about it, but you never know what that donation has been used for. So yeah, absolutely. We need to have some sort of, discernment. But I'm also under the impression that it's our intention. It's like, because you never know.
You just don't know.
Never know if somebody is genuine and they can promise that, I'm going to go use it for food, I'm starving, and then they go and buy alcohol. So we got to remember that Supreme Lord Krishna is supremely intelligent, and he knows everything. He knows what's in your heart and your mind. And if you have a pure intention, I think you're still going to be safe from picking up negative karma, in that regard, because you don't know. So then you surrender that action, right?
Yeah.
You'll be like, here, I trust that you're going to get food. Whether they do or not, you're free of that negative karma, because Your intention was pure.
Yeah, and something else comes to mind. It's we're gonna start overthinking then, and it's like we have to stop that. At some point we have to let go of all this thinking, and to have to trust ourselves too, and trust where we are coming from, and learn to be without thinking too much, and really be, like this situation is calling this forth now, someone is approaching you, and now you're gonna go with your analytical mind through every step, or just, someone is approaching you, and without thinking, but just from a state of beingness, you just, you take your wallet and you give one more thing, and then, so that is, I don't know, it's not even, the intention, it's not even an intention anymore. Maybe that's a really advanced state, but it's like, it's a being and it's flowing through you. And you trust that, you're at the stage where you can just freely give. And then we can also see, I mean, this might really be advanced stuff, but even if the person would go buy alcohol and then go home and beat his wife, who's not to say that that is the perfect thing that should have happened for the wife then to finally leave, or for the man to be so depressed about his behavior that he all of a sudden, because he beat his wife once again, surrenders everything to God and then, makes a real step up. Yeah. It's like we don't know, and trying to think about every little detail can just be so destructive.
There's a divine play at work, so we got to keep that in mind that, okay, when you're at a certain level on the path, perhaps, the people who approach you are, going to be, the right people approaching you at that time. And I love how you touched, if you analyze it too much, then you're losing some of the purity. So somebody approaches you with an open heart, and then you have an open heart, and then you want to give, but then you remember, well, if I give it to the wrong time or the wrong person, then it's not going to be good. So now I'm going to interrogate you and investigate, what are you going to do with the money? Are you really going to buy food? And then you kind of descend into a more negative sort of thing where you're interrogating and you're not trusting anymore. So we need to
trust that.
A fine balance, no doubt.
Yeah, and just talking about this trusting, I feel like my energy is really settling, and it's just we forget about that because we're so much in our head and thinking and analyzing, and it's just like, why don't you take a deep breath and relax, and you trust that whatever actions you perform and whatever is, being called forth from you in any given moment will be perfect. Yeah. And will serve its purpose.
Absolutely. That being said, Dee does comment, I have stopped giving money, I just buy food and give. And that's
perfect.
Beautiful as well. That's amazing. Right?
Yeah, and that's it. Like, we all have our own expressions of doing things, right? And one's not better than the other. It's just it's just different.
So the discernment needs to be there as well, because I do know about the websites, and then just the really, really big organizations.
Yeah, that's what you touched on in the video.
Oh yeah,
yeah, that was exactly
I already
that.
talked about it.
Yeah, that's why they start talking about that. Sorry, not Om Tat Sat. I mean, your garage.
Om Tat Sat means Brahman is the absolute and pure existence, and others are objects of existence. Wow, nice.
Okay.
Love it. So pointing to the absolute.
Yeah. So there's just only one, and then everything. Yeah.
Pure existence. So that's
beautiful.
I see it as the pure infinite field of consciousness. So that which is not, in the sense that it still is something, but it's beyond materiality. It's the source of it, right? And everything arising within that infinite field of consciousness, is part of the divine manifestation.
Yeah. Shikha. Oh, member.
Yeah. An achievement of completing the Holy Gita. Roger becoming emotional is rare.
It is so rare. Yeah.
It's rare indeed. I remember. Yeah, and B got in there also. Very rare.
Yes.
So obviously you guys have watched a lot of our videos, and yeah, it is quite rare. I tend to keep my emotions pretty bottled up, or
Bottle up.
yeah. So yeah, yeah, it was quite the occasion.
Oh, there are the first 3 blue hearts and 3 red ones. We take that too.
Somebody wrote 3 blue hearts there.
What?
Also, just
just wrote it? Yeah. That is so cute.
3 blue hearts. That's cute.
Oh, many more blue hearts are coming now. Yay. Bullets and knives.
Dear Roger and Sabine, you both don't even know you have achieved so many virtues people achieve in their innumerable life cycles. The one who explains and teaches Bhagavad Gita to people surely gets her sins washed away. Yeah, maybe that was why I was so overcome with emotion at the end, because I just, yeah, you feel something very deeply, right? Because I've read it, internally, and I've listened to it many times, but I've never read it out loud, right? So just to read it, to you and with you, and then just to discuss it, even if my commentary, doesn't, it's not 100% accurate, it's to the level of my understanding, it's still beneficial. It's still part of the journey, part of the process.
Vishnu Das.
When you say Hare Krishna, I got goosebumps. This is the ultimate truth of everyone.
Beautiful. Oh, yeah. This is, I love. Look at all these blue hearts. Hare Krishna world. World. Oh, that's so cute. Yeah. The world and razors.
Awesome.
Love you too, Alec. Oh, wow, look at all these blue hearts. B.
Okay, B, so I just read the whole comment, and thank you so much for the clarifications. It totally makes sense now. So prescribed duties isn't necessarily something that's chosen by an external, force, or deity or God per se. It's kind of chosen by your own karma, right? So even previous lifetimes, you're going to have a predisposition towards certain things. It's like if you were a professional dancer, or you were really, like maybe even you didn't get to dance in the previous lifetime, but you held it in mind so much, and you just were devoted towards dancing, and you just loved it and watching it, and you envisioned yourself being a dancer. Then you would have that predisposition in the next lifetime. So then what it means is to embrace that and really go for it, but selflessly, understanding that you're just a part of the creation and the manifestation. So you're surrendering the fruits, and you're just being, and doing this is, of course, happening, through you. So you can, whatever, it's like the teachings that I heard from the first time, from Wayne Dyer. He was saying, follow your bliss. And I think Joseph Campbell as well, right? So whatever you're, whatever you're drawn to technically is your prescribed duties, because it's the thing that you're meant to do. Absolutely. In a way, right? So
your calling.
Yeah, your calling. So absolutely. So we have to practice that.
That reminds me of Brahmic bliss. Was that one of the first chapter? Or
yeah. Brahmic bliss.
Oh, seems so long ago. Follow your bliss, people.
And then B, so let's just touch just briefly on the word righteousness. So that word in my mind has been distorted quite a bit in like other, religions and religion in general, because it's to say that, I'm righteous by serving my God. And then, so it's almost used, in the wrong way, which is why I prefer the word, right consciousness, right? Because righteousness, you can say that any action, even though if I'm going out and killing in the name of God, that's righteous, but it may not necessarily be righteous. But anyway, so right consciousness means, right alignment. We understand that we're all one family. We're all together.
The loser stupid demon.
Krishna is everywhere. Realization and surrendering to the Supreme is all human being needed. Krishna loves us more than we love ourselves. He doesn't command Arjuna to convert anybody, nor he says that this is the only way. The Supreme clearly states to Arjuna that it is upon him. Accept it or leave it. Absolutely, that's why another reason why I love Sanatana Dharma so much is that it's just so open. There's just so many ways, so many paths. So many avenues towards liberation and mukti that, have to be true to that and understand that. And it's like, Arjuna is asking questions, and almost debating a little bit with Krishna to find out these things. And that should be allowed.
Elon Musk.
Let me tell you a unique thing, which is whoever likes Shiva or worships Shiva truly ultimately goes to Krishna. Among Leela Prabhu, he also happened to be Shiva devotee, but Shiva took his mind towards Krishna. It happened to many. Have you noticed Krishna never commanded Arjuna? He said, "It is best of knowledge you heard from me. Now you do what you think is right." So absolutely. So the ultimate, there is only one ultimate source. And Krishna even says in the Bhagavad Gita that no matter who you worship, ultimate worship, like it's the intention that really matters. So if you worship the ancestors, you go to the ancestors. But if you're worshiping even, a form or a concept of the ultimate, apart from Krishna, you're still worshiping Krishna. There's only one absolute. That being said, we don't want to impose that on others and say that, hey, when you're worshiping God the Father or Allah, you're really worshiping Krishna, because people aren't really going to understand that. So it's nothing that we need to worry about. We just understand that there's only one highest, and the goal is to free ourselves from the bondage of the lower ego mind, and whatever path helps people is okie dokie.
Nice. Savannah.
I feel that after reading the last shlok, both of yours mind became still for a few moments, and both of you went to some kind of trance. Is it true? It depends what the definition of the word trance implies, but a state of, for me, it was just very, peaceful, silent and emotional, and just feeling, because we can take the time to understand when we have done something very meaningful and positive and spiritually uplifting, in our intention of doing the Gita together. And it was very, emotional in that state, and almost in a sense of like spiritual relief and acceptance that we finally did it. And we did the Gita with Sabine. It was Sabine's first time. So we really wanted to do it. And now with our YouTube channel, to find the time to be able to do that, we needed to make it public. We needed to do it, in the open, and invite others to join us. And so many people did. And it was really, it was quite the feat, right? So, it was very amazing. So a state of deep, content washed over me.
Yeah, gratitude.
Yes.
Silence, I think, is just what... Silence and spaciousness, in a way,
and grace, feeling...
that's the word. That's the word, grace.
Because it's even... to truly understand, what is happening, to even be
grace.
Fortunate enough to have an attraction towards such teachings is quite rare. It's like Krishna states that nobody's going to be interested in these teachings, until I grant them the capacity to be attracted to it. So we think that if we're attracted to something, that is totally our doing, but that's not the case, right? There's a supreme being, there's a super soul, right? That's kind of in charge. So even to be fortunate enough is a blessing, is grace.
Yeah, but that sounds very strange to me, to be honest. It sounds way too strange, because every sentient being has the potential, and why wouldn't God grant it to every sentient being?
Well, it is.
Well, it is, yeah.
Yeah. But you have to unlock that capacity, right?
Yeah, exactly. But that's still you're doing. So you put in effort, and then the grace shines through.
Yeah. But the fortunate to put in the effort is also grace. Everything is grace.
Yeah, but but everybody will eventually. So like.
Yeah. But so now at this time. Yeah. Well, anyways, just a different kind of a different view on that, perhaps. But
suck it.
This is the first time I complete Bhagavad Gita entirely. Acknowledging the greatest knowledge now, I will strive even more to be a yogi in this material world. Wish you all great exploration of life through wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. Wish blissful and unattached every moment to you all.
Yes.
Thank you
to
so much,
you all,
Saket.
too.
Absolutely. May everybody, be blessed.
Yeah.
May we all become yogis in this world.
Shri.
It was such a wonderful journey that you took us through in this last couple of weeks. Thank you both for reconnecting some of us to Bhagavad Gita and to Krishna once again. You're a great teacher yourself, Roger, and your understanding of Gita is so incredible. Thank you both once again.
Thank you.
Well, thank you so much for that wonderful comment. Just do what flows through me.
Gem Master of Illumination.
Really enjoyed your reading of Bhagavad Gita. Thank you. The secret of life is
There's
there is
only me.
me.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, fantastic.
Tatsavita.
Love means love like compassion, like the All-Father Lord Shiva. He loves all, but he knows that this is not reality, but just character of his own formless being in form, which is formlessness and real nature. So no one is here. So whom will you love? But you show compassion as you know it is all your own part. Like we love our body, it is why we never hurt it. Yeah, so treating the body like a temple, absolutely, and understanding that everything is manifesting from the one divine absolute source. So in this comment, of course, it's Lord Shiva. So yeah, and then so not getting entangled and attached, knowing that we're all arising. And there's some deep truth of emptiness in here too, right? So, form is emptiness and emptiness is form, right? So yeah, I absolutely love that. So that which is not, right, is manifesting as all that is. And then letting go of the debate that it means void or nothingness. No, it actually means everythingness, right? Everythingness is manifesting from the nothingness that is itself everything.
Ankushzap.
Here is a shocker. Despite the fact that Arjuna was a great warrior, became first person to hear Gita and saw the mighty universal form of Krishna. Still after death, he had to go to hell first for his karmas before ascending to the heavens. Some people would think that he forgot or fought war on Krishna direction, then why hell? Well, there's a deeper catch into it, which will be clear once you understand Mahabharat in right way. It also emphasis on the fact that one can be great devotee or be a person of higher conscious. Still, karmas will decide his fate at the end. Yeah, absolutely. We can't forget, karma, right? Yeah. So our actions have consequences, and that's just the way it is. And understanding that even when bad things happen, that's why I love the Buddhist teachings about karma, stating that when something negative happens to you, you just accept it as your karma and understand that, okay, well, I must have done something in the past, that manifested as this. So even going to hell, you can see that as just part of your karma. And then you're not creating any more negative karma by getting into like despair and really negative states and anger and I want revenge because now I'm in hell. No, you just accept it as your fate. And then with grace, because that's the easiest way to get out of hell, is to accept it, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Without resistance.
Taking full responsibility.
Absolutely.
Shyam.
Dear Roger and Sabine, as Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, your desireless action of explaining Bhagavad Gita with pure heart, innocence, and devotion, you are already liberated, in my opinion. Whoa. Well, thank you so much. But I do equate liberation with, with seeking, right? To be a seeker means because we got to understand that the journey is the destination, and to have the intention to be liberated results in liberation if you're doing it with a pure intention, motivation, a pure heart, and understanding of what it means. To be on the path is liberation itself. So absolutely. So that's why it's so important to have that intention, because that's what carries you towards the goal. So there's no difference between the intention, the journey, and the goal. they're all the same.
Nice. Ameya.
See, first of all, no work is high or low. What we choose just depends on our own nature. For example, not everyone is cut out for being a soldier. Not everyone can be a scholar. Doing a business isn't everyone's cup of tea. Also, menial jobs or laborers is also not a career choice for all, even if it pays well. One should choose our occupation as per our nature, as it is more in accordance with us, and not necessarily on what pays the most.
Beautiful.
So absolutely, this is just a teaching, in the modern world that you got to find a job that you love, and then it's not really like a job. And I experienced this in my career as well, where I switched careers temporarily, like still in the same field, but I went into quality control, which encompassed like a lot of paperwork. And I didn't enjoy it. It wasn't fun for me because I like being hands-on and building things. And I can lead people. I've been a foreman most of my career where I was leading people in the building of things, which was still enjoyable because I was building things through them, which was still fun. But when I got into quality control, I found that I could actually improve quality more by being the foreman because I had more authority over the crew, and then quality was better when I was the leader. And right now, now I'm back to just building things, on my own. I'm building pipe spools and I'm having a great time, right? It's, it's challenging and it's fun. Yeah, and it's more in line with, what I meant to do in that regards. Yeah.
SS Manjunata.
Entering into God kingdom means understanding one consciousness, and we ourselves become one consciousness and enter into that. Yeah, absolutely. This is one way of understanding that process, and I do see that as an enlightened being, totally transcending the ego and freeing ourselves from Maya, from the illusion, transcending samsara. Yeah, we enter into a totally different, realm, a way of existence, because we've transcended material existence and being identified with, body and labels and ego mind, thinking mind. So, and then what's beyond that? Yeah, I don't think we can even, comprehend it. We can get a, glimpse in some kind of conceptual realizations, but eventually there's going to be a non-conceptual revelation.
Amit.
In Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan Krishna said, if somebody doesn't know about me, or she is devoted to other gods, then still eventually they are thinking and praying to Lord Krishna, because he is the only one, the supreme truth and supreme God, but she is doing it in a wrong way. So they cannot be free from the cycle of life and death. So they have to reincarnate and start his or her spiritual journey again. So I do agree, and I also disagree with this comment because it's still limiting Krishna. When Krishna says, I do believe that Krishna said that whoever you're devoted to, if it's pure, you're still devoted to me. But it's limiting Krishna to say that he can't liberate somebody who is worshiping Lord Shiva, for example, right? So I do believe that liberation, depends on the intention, and the dedication, because there is some people who haven't heard of Lord Krishna. And I do know and believe that some people have been liberated and attained the higher states, totally beyond samsara, without ever hearing the word Krishna in this lifetime. So to think that you need the word Krishna in the form of Krishna to have liberation actually limits Krishna.
Once again, I don't know how often I should go through the videos and just cut this out.
Yeah.
Limits Krishna, limits God, limits Krishna.
Krishna is unlimited, right?
Unlimited. Yeah. Dharma.
Supersoul is the supreme personality of Godhead. He remains with the soul as a witness. Soul cannot operate the body without supersoul. Example, when soul desires to move the arm, supersoul moves the arm. So absolutely. So that's the understanding that we're all part of an infinite field of consciousness, right? Yeah. So the Paramatman and the Atman, they're like the enjoyer, right? There's an experiencer, a witness, and it's the prime mover of everything, right? So that is the delusion that we think that we're the actor, when really it's just the ego taking credit for what is happening, like 1/10,000th of a second after it's happened. So, yeah, and that's the delusion that we got to cut through. There's only one source of absolutely everything. It's the divine play. There's one being in reality, and he is manifesting as all beings.
Eka Devo.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
I also turned teary at the end.
Beautiful.
How great our ancestors were. They gave us this profound knowledge, keeping it safe from all haters and scoundrels who tried to end our civilization.
Yep.
Absolutely. The world is so blessed and fortunate now that, the ancient wisdom and teachings are still available. And that way I see it as it's still a golden time for spiritual seekers. So, thank you so much to anybody who helped to preserve this wisdom.
Amit.
Hari Om, there must be some connection of you with Indian culture and philosophy.
No doubt.
Absolutely. Well, being pure spiritual seekers, we're of course seeking the highest truth. And in my mind, there is no higher truth than the Vedas and Upanishads and the Bhagavad Gita. So, of course, we're drawn to it. So, and we're very fortunate. And we're very grateful for your acceptance of us fellow seekers.
Yeah. Our world razor facts never lie.
I really appreciate you guys explaining the chapters. 3 years ago, the Bhagavad Gita made no sense to me. I find the more I practice patience, humility, meditation, and prayers, the more the Bhagavad Gita makes sense. Thank you, Roger and Sabina, for your help.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Shiva.
Thank you so much for putting 3 Shivas, because we love Lord Shiva as well. And in my mind, there's
Hare Shiva.
There's no difference. I love some of the comments recently on our channel, stating that there's no difference between like Vishnu and Shiva, because Shiva is the heart of Vishnu and Vishnu is the heart of Shiva.
I love it.
Stuff like that is just, yes, absolutely.
Stock market.
The supreme instruction is my favorite part. Think of me, surrender unto me, be my devotee, and so on.
Absolutely.
Yes, that's one of my favorite parts as well. It's just
fix your mind on me. Yeah.
It's so simple, right? It's bhakti, and then you can see how potent that path is, right? Because it is. What do you do when you surrender? What do you do when you become devoted? You're instantly, intending something higher than your own ego mind that is just attracted by sense pleasures and delusions, right? So you're instantly being an active participant in freeing yourself from the clutches of delusion by attaching your mind to something greater than itself.
RP Singh.
You guys are so wonderful. Love you guys. Even we have never met, I feel so close to you all. That proves when the impurities of hearts clears up, we see everyone as one. Absolutely.
Beautiful. Salman.
In that non-dual state, there is only one being. To love requires second, and in that state, there is no other. All is you, and you are all. So that state is one, or that state is itself love.
Beautiful.
Absolutely love that. And then that's why I see love itself is synonymous, with God, because the power of God, is a creative force, and it's pure love. Like the power of love is creation itself, because it's the energy. So then everything in creation is part of the one supreme being. And what maintains it and sustains it is the love. So it's divinity itself. Everything in existence is divine by virtue of its existence itself, right? Because it's part of the whole.
Tamalika.
A yogi acts only for the sake of the Supreme. Therefore, he is not driven by the love or hatred towards work or its results. His one and only goal is Krishna, God, and his work is also only for the sake of attaining God. Like Arjuna was not liking the work of fighting, with his near and dear ones, it was his love for the Supreme that made him do it, and that too with perfection. Yeah, so being devoted and understanding in the end. So we got to keep this in mind, that Arjuna in the end, even though Krishna gave him the option, the freedom to choose, which we all have, Arjuna in the end, after receiving the divine instructions of the absolute truth from Supreme Lord Krishna, he chose in the end to do his duty, to do his dharma. He was a warrior, and he chose to fight and uphold his dharma and his duty. And then that's so important, because we need to understand that we all have different functions and roles, and we need to, investigate and inquire, like, what are we drawn to? What is our purpose? How can we best serve God in this material form and existence, and kind of surrender our egoic predispositions and be like, okay, well, I'm connected to God. God is everywhere and is everything, and including me. It's part of me. My very existence rests on God, Supreme Lord Krishna. So then we can surrender to that and be okay with it. It's okay to be a spiritual seeker. It's okay to be spiritual in the world, and it's sorely needed. We need to bring it back, and we need to be that in the world and do our duty. So in the sense of, it's coming up recently about, like Buddhas versus Vikings, right?
Roger.
like a devotee to truth and a spiritual seeker, kind of surrender everything. And on the opposite end of the spectrum is a warrior, fighting for that right consciousness. And we need to kind of be both, right? And embrace the teachings, and at the same time upholding them. Like, not to say that we need to become violent in any way, but we need to, stand up, right? Which is why sometimes when I do disagree with a comment or something, I'm not going to be passive, and I'm not just going to say, No, with my knowledge, and I'm not saying I have the greatest knowledge, but I do have a certain level of understanding, and I have to be that now, which is the same that somebody who's going to debate with me has their level of understanding, and that's totally fine. But I have to be spiritual. I have to express, my view, because otherwise I'm doing a disservice, right? So it's same with the other person. So I respect their view, and then maybe they're right. But by engaging, kindly with others, then we get imprints and we get insights. Right?
Beautiful.
It all leads, we're all heading to the same destination.
And with that, this finally concludes our Bhagavad Gita study of 2022.
Yeah, so fortunate, so grateful, and so happy that we were able to do this on our platform and share it with the world, as we are world raisers, seeking to help raise the level of consciousness of the whole planet just by being seekers and doing it ourselves, because we're all part of the field. By raising ourselves, we raise the field. So thank you all so much for being world raisers with us and joining us, and, for the whole journey. So many blue hearts, so many people did every single chapter with us. So we love you all, and we're so grateful to have such positive people with us. You guys are the real blessing to us and the world, and we're so fortunate to have you with us.
Yeah.
So,
let's all chant the Hare Krishna mantra 3 times. Please chant with us at home. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. My smile got bigger and bigger. It's like, Krishna.
Yeah, and I got emotional again.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh my God, you did.
Krishna. Krishna hits me.
Oh.
Yeah.
With
love it.
what? What is he? With his flute?
Yeah, he hits me with the flute. Yeah, so good.
Sweet.
Amazing. Yeah, loved it. What a great end of this journey. And yeah, we are not done. We are seeking the truth. And this is it. This is the journey. So thank you all so much. Let us know what you think of this down in the comments. And remember, raise yourself.
And raise the world. Do it with me. Raise the world. We love you. Hare Krishna.
Peace.